Good afternoon, everybody. Joker Martin the Metalhead here. I hope you're going well. Just filming my latest vlog today in my bedroom, just above my Barbados flag. So every day when I wake up, I look at the flag and I tell myself, someday I'm going to go do an entire lap around that island in the Caribbean. And after I've done it, I'm going to send this flag to my niece in Australia. Now, I'm going to do another top 10 list that I've created. Like a few days ago, I did a vlog about top 10 places I want to vlog in England. And then coming up later on today, I'm uploading a video like top 10 books I want to read in the rest of this year. Now today we're doing top 10 graves to vlog. Now to be really specific, these graves, they're not within the United Kingdom. I have to do a separate vlog about that later. These are top 10 graves I want to vlog that are outside of the United Kingdom. Okay, so number one, we're going to talk about Dalida. Like this book I have right now, I've written a whole script about like where to vlog certain sites about Dalida in Paris. Now, I was actually at the cemetery where Dalida is buried in December 2019. I was there to visit Falco's grave, but I didn't get around to visiting Dalida. I thought Dalida's a big person, she had a huge personality, she was a diva. She deserves a separate vlog. And it's kind of like funny for me, a metalhead, to vlog people of whose music I don't really have any interest in. I thought, well, I don't really like the music, and I don't like divas, I don't like people who don't write their own songs. But, you know, there are people out there who would find these vlogs quite interesting. Number two, Ingo Schwichtenberg, the drummer of Halloween. He played on all the Halloween albums in the 80s until, you know, schizophrenia plagued him in the 90s, and he committed suicide by throwing himself in front of a train in Germany in, I think it was like March 1995. I was in Hamburg in 2012, but I didn't see anything of Hamburg. I just saw a train station, and then I went to Heydayat's open air. Ingo is buried a little bit north of Hamburg. Literally, you could get out from Hamburg to his gravesite in, I guess, maybe in an hour, depending on what bus and train you take. Yes. And also, sticking to Germany, the grave of Max Born. Max Born was basically a German Jewish scientist who was best friends with Albert Einstein, but because of what happened when the Third Reich came to power, he had to flee to Cambridge. And that's how his daughter, Irene Born, married Brimley Newton-John, and their daughter, Olivia Newton-John, was born in Cambridge. The crazy thing is, Olivia Newton-John didn't even bother meeting her own German grandfather, and then so he died back in Germany in the 1970s. It would be such an honor to visit Max Born's grave, because he's buried in this little town in, I think he's in the east of Germany. I'll have to look it up on a map, but literally you could even get a Flixbus to the town just to go check out his grave. Okay, and a few people have recommended me this, that I go to Nico's grave in the Berlin forest. I've been to Berlin twice, but I've never seen anything in Berlin in my life at the bus station. Nico, you know, being part of Velvet Underground, was an iconic woman, and she died tragically, died young, and she has a very fitting grave, which I've noticed is in the woods, so that would also be a good vlog. Falco in Vienna. Falco, what's her name? Amadeus, Amadeus, oh Amadeus, Amadeus, Amadeus. The Austrian singer who had basically a one major hit in America with Amadeus, Rock Me Amadeus, but then he was tragically killed in a car crash in the Dominican Republic in 1998. He has a massive tombstone where he's buried in Vienna. So, I've never seen much of Austria in my life, still haven't been in Vienna, don't really care much about the sound of music. I'll go check out Falco's grave if I'm ever in Vienna. Number 6 on my list, we have the Iranian poet Sadegh Heydayat. Forgive me if I said the name wrong. He wrote the book The Blind Owl. He was born in Iran, he wrote the book The Blind Owl, and then he emigrated to Paris where he sealed up his house and committed suicide by turning on the oven by carbon monoxide poisoning. A tragic way to go. Instead, if his remains getting sent back to Iran, or the Iranian government has even bothered to like bring his body back home. He is buried in Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris, same cemetery you'll find Jim Morrison. So literally I like to do a vlog about this guy, like if I'm ever in Paris. As a matter of fact, I've never spent a whole 24 hours in Paris. I've been in Paris so many times in my life. I've never, spent a whole day in Paris. It's always either been like a day trip or a night trip. So, I mean, the whole of that cemetery is like huge. I could make separate vlogs on all the famous people that are buried there. 5 minutes of me talking about each of their graves. Or, I could make a 20-minute vlog cramming on so many other different people who are buried there. Another one in Paris, okay, we have the mimist of Marceau. When he died in 2007, I remember hearing about it on the news. He was good friends with Michael Jackson. He was a very interesting actor. If you ever watch the movie, the silent film, he is the only person to speak any words. When he's called up in Paris and he's asked to be in a movie, he yells out on the phone, "Non!" meaning no in French. I was trying to find his grave the last time I was in Paris, but I didn't have much luck. I ended up finding some Kurdish dissidents who were murdered in Germany and are buried in Paris. Number 8 on my list, Johnny Clegg. Johnny Clegg was a fantastic South African musician. He was known as the White Zulu. I've listened to a lot of his music since December last year, as I give a lot of praise and thanks to my South African friend for introducing me to his music. He was born, in Bacup, in northern England, in the 50s. His mother took him to Jerusalem for a year before settled in Zimbabwe and Zambia, and then he focused in on the Zulu people in South Africa, and he spoke their language fluently, and he became known as the White Zulu. He was nominated for a Grammy in 1993 for Best World Album, but he didn't win it. In my opinion, he deserves to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Johnny Clegg died in Johannesburg the 16th of July 2019, same day I saw Dream Theater in Slovakia. He's buried in the main cemetery in Johannesburg in the Jewish section, but there's been no photographic proof that anybody's been to his grave or photographed his new tombstone because of the current pandemic. I've been dying to go to South Africa for the last 11 years of my life. There are a lot more legendary South Africans I'll be visiting their graves once I'm in there. Number 9, we have Marianne Ihen in Oslo. I wanted to visit a grave the last time I was in Oslo last year, but unfortunately the cemetery was shut on the Sundays. By the time I came back to Oslo, the cemetery was shut again and I had to fly back to London. A good friend of mine in Norway has taken a photograph of her grave, and she goes to Marianne's grave every now and then. And the interesting thing about Marianne Ihen is that she was the girlfriend of Leonard Cohen after he moved to Hydra in Greece. And he was in love with Marianne for 10 years, but then they went their separate ways. And on the day Marianne moved out of Hydra, Leonard, his new girlfriend, and his baby son had moved into the new house. And last on my list, we've got Victor Borges. He is a Danish musician who had to flee Copenhagen at the start of World War II. He basically couldn't speak any English when he arrived in America. He had only $25 to his name, but he made a living out of being a pianist and an entertainer. Victor Borges died in 2000 in America. Half of his ashes are buried in Connecticut, in a cemetery where there is a Little Mermaid statue, and then the other half of his ashes are buried with his parents in a Jewish cemetery in Copenhagen. I was in Copenhagen a couple of years ago, but I had no prior knowledge of where the Jewish cemetery was, even though I'd walked past the synagogue. So doing a vlog on Victor Borges in Copenhagen would be quite magnificent. Anyway, these graves I probably may not get to visit in 2021 because of the current pandemic. But I look forward to trying to get there in 2022. after I've done my 5th year in London and I can travel a little bit more. Anyway, this is Martin the Metalhead. I'm over and out.